Hey guys, this is Bradley Benner, and in this video we're going to talk about some local keyword research. I had a student of mine recently ask about keyword research for a local client that they're trying to land, and so I promised that I would make a blog post video about this, going through the tools that I use. There's a million and one keyword tools out there that you can purchase, and honestly I've tried just about every one under the sun, and I still use the free versions, the tools that Google gives pretty much, to do most all of my keyword research. So I'm going to show you what I do to begin with, especially when I'm working for a local client, and then give you some kind of more advanced tips along with that, and how to get a really good list of keywords for a client. And we're going to try to do this in a somewhat relatively short period of time. So the first thing, these are the three tools that I use, okay, that are free. The Google Trends, a lot of people don't use that, but it's great for keyword research especially on a local level. The Google Keyword Planner, which obviously is a lot different than the keyword tool was from months ago, but it's still very valuable, and I'll show you how I use that. And then there's Google Suggest. Anything that comes from Google Suggest is also great for targeting more long tail keywords and for creating blog posts, supporting articles, that sort of thing, for on-page SEO, plus as well as content syndicating, content marketing. Okay, and there's a tool called ubersuggest.org that's very good at finding some long tail from Google Suggest. Okay. So the particular keywords that my student had asked about was insurance broker was their seed keyword, and then financial management. Okay, and so one of the first things I do when I have just a handful of seed keywords that I get from a potential client, one of the first things I'll do when I talk to a potential client is I'll find out which keywords do they think that their customers come in from search on, or that their customers are using when they're searching for their services, and then I'll just take down a short list of what they think, okay, and then I'll go in and do some real keyword research based on that seed list. And this is the seed list that I got from my student, which is insurance broker and financial management were pretty much the two keywords. Okay, so typically the first thing that I like to do is I've got an incognito window opened in Chrome, and I'm going to go and determine whether these keywords have a local intent, or if they're a informational type keyword, which generally means they're not going to return local results. Remember, Google is moved towards trying to always return local results, well, depending on what the search is. If Google thinks that the search is as a search with local intent, they're going to return maps listings, and they're going to return much more targeted, localized kind of results. Whereas if you're looking for a keyword that's more of an in Google's eyes is more of a informational keyword, though they're going to return different results. Like Wikipedia, you'll get more informational type sites, that sort of thing. A lot of big brand sites usually. So that's what I like to do. Is the first thing I like to do is determine whether it's an informational keyword or a local intent keyword, because remember, this is local keyword research, so we want to eliminate the ones that are informational and go with the ones that have local intent. Okay, or if we're going to use the informational keywords, they're going to be our top level keywords, obviously, that maybe we'll plan on ranking for at some later time, but we're going to start with the lower hanging fruit, which is the keywords with the more local intent. Okay, so to start with, I'm going to grab the insurance broker keyword, and I'm just going to hop over into the clean Google browser, and we're going to search for it. And we're going to see that right off the bat, this turns, look, the first thing's a Wikipedia article on the definition of an insurance broker. We got some news in here. Then it looks like we have some big names in here. More stuff about what is an insurance broker. So this is an informational type keyword. Okay, so I would keep that where I have it on my sheet here as an informational keyword. And then we're going to go move to the second one. Look up insurance. Okay, now this one, see, it brought the maps back, so we know that that is going to be a more localized. Now, see, they're giving us some, national brands here, obviously, and there's in insurance for, because I'm not adding a geographic modifier. I'm not asking it to return local results, but Google is determining that this keyword generally has a local intent behind it. So it's going to return some listings in my area, which is Culpeper, okay? But it's also returning big brands. But this means that this keyword is good. Just flat out insurance is a good one to add to the list, obviously. Okay, so the next one we're going to do is insurance agent. Okay, it looks like pretty much the same thing. It's going to return a good blend of informational as well as localized type keywords. So that's pretty good. So that gives me an idea of what of the keywords. Okay, so we know that these two have more local intent. All right. So then, if your client's in a particular city, then you want to get a feel for what the search volume or what type of keywords the client what type of keywords you should be ranking for the client, or that they should be targeting in their particular location. We might even skip these altogether because otherwise the training could go too long. But insurance broker, insurance agent, we know that these are the localized results, or return more localized results. So the first thing we want to do is we want to take this term, and we're going to go over to Google Trends. Okay, this is a really cool tool. Go to google.com/trends. We're going to paste in our seed keyword insurance, and it's going to return on a global level the history, the search history over time. Okay, what's cool about this is you can target it by geographic location. Right now this is worldwide. Well, let's just say that my client was in Atlanta, Georgia. Okay, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to click in here, and I'm going to come over to United States and click on that little arrow, and we're going to come down to Georgia right here. If we click on that arrow, it's going to bring us down into the cities or regions within Atlanta. Okay, so the major regions. So we know we're going to go with Atlanta, so we're going to click that. Now this is going to give us the search history for 10 years, I believe, for Atlanta, Georgia. And we can come down here and we can see, since we just chose it on a city level, we can see that these are the suburbs within Atlanta, the little townships, areas around Atlanta, and their search volume based, it's kind of a ratio of their population density. So meaning Duluth, there's more people searching in Duluth than there are in Tucker. At least there is more of a percentage of people. Okay, so it doesn't mean there could be more people actually searching in Tucker more as an actual count. The actual quantity of people could be more, but it's less of a percentage than what it is in Duluth. And I'm not saying that that's the case here. I'm just trying to explain what these numbers mean. So what's cool about this is we come down here though, and we'll see that the queries, well, in Atlanta we know that's number 3 right there. Okay, but if we come down here, now we can see some of the terms that are being searched and which ones are being searched the most. As you can see, health insurance, auto insurance, life insurance, and car insurance are the most searched terms. And then we scroll down, and these ones are searched less, which these are brands, Progressive, State Farm, insurance quotes. That's a good keyword because you know that's a buyer type keyword. Somebody's looking to get a quote, they're looking to purchase. Dental insurance, that's another good one. And then if you look over here, now these are queries based on time. These are the top queries over a period of time. But if we come over to Rising, this is always interesting to me because Rising shows since the last time that they indexed, every single time it's every 30 days that they update this data. Okay, you can see every 30 days, so it's once a month. And what this shows is a percentage of an increase since the last time they processed the data. Okay, so you can see that car insurance quotes is breakout, which I believe that means 500% plus, so 500% or more of an increase in search volume. And then anything below that will show a percentage base. So you can see cheap insurance is 160, American Family Insurance, Progressive Auto Insurance. So these are all really good keywords. Some of these, like car insurance quotes, we know that's a buyer's keyword. Cheap insurance, that would be a good one to target because we know that people are searching for it in Atlanta, right, or in this region anyways. Direct insurance, that may be a company, probably is a website. And then the rest of those are brands. So there's a couple good keywords in here that what I would do is I would copy them and I would put them on my spreadsheet or in my notes anyways. So car insurance quotes. Okay, so what I did was I went and I grabbed the top keywords that Trends was showing me for health insurance, auto insurance, life insurance, car insurance. I could also add insurance quotes and dental insurance. Okay, so I've added those. So these were all the keywords that were ranked in the top, showing the most search volume over time. Okay, and then we go to look at Rising, and Rising had, these are the two that make sense for my client. Okay, or my, if this was my client in Atlanta, okay, or potential client. So these would be the top terms for this insurance term. Now we can do the same thing with our insurance agent. So I'm going to grab that, and we're going to also paste that into. What's cool is you can compare terms side by side. Now, insurance agent isn't going to have as much search volume, obviously, as insurance. You can see what a huge disparity between the two. Okay, because insurance is such a broad term, it's always going to return a much higher result. But there's still some. I'm sure there's still some good information in there. So once again, if we go over to insurance agent, it's going to return different results than what this does. Sometimes they're not so significantly different, but this one looks like it is quite a bit, except for the Duluth is still at the top. Which, by the way, this is something that I would recommend to the client in this case, would be to say that, we should be targeting the Duluth area because there's a significant, they seem to be the top, have the highest percentage of people searching for that insurance terms, okay, in this region, okay, so this metropolitan area is Duluth. So I would be targeting, low-hanging fruit. You always want to go after the low-hanging fruit first. So I would probably target insurance agents, auto insurance, Duluth auto insurance, Duluth home insurance, that sort of stuff first, okay? Then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to come down here and check on these again, and we can see that these are some additional keywords that we could pull out. Life insurance agent, Georgia insurance agent, let's see, independent insurance agent, some of these are informational, I can see that, but some of these are decent. And then we'll come over and take a look at Rising. This one is both Rising and it is at the top here, which means it's been over time. This is something that this keyword has been searched a lot over time, but it also means that it had a significant jump in search volume in the last 30 days. Independent insurance agent, same thing. And life insurance agent. So some of these are good. I'm going to put these in the sheet. Okay, so I brought those keywords over. It's the same 3 keywords in the top as well as the Rising. The order just changes slightly. So, but this gives us a good idea of some keywords to start with to target. Okay, this is what I would typically do, is I would go ahead and grab these keywords out, and then we're going to move over to the Google Keyword Planner, and we're going to insert those as our seed keywords with the geographic targeting. Okay, so we're going to click on, this is the Keyword Planner, so go here and then click on Search for New Keyword and Add Group Ideas. And then right down here where it says Targeting, we can click on that, and we can change the targeting from general to, which is United States, the entire country, to, I'm going to go to Atlanta, Georgia, and I'm going to click Add, and then I'm going to remove the United States so that the results that we get are going to be just coming from the counts on searches, the search volume from within Atlanta. So let me grab these keywords, and I'm going to dump them in. Alright, so here's our keywords pulled out. That we just pulled as seed keywords. I'm going to copy that and drop them in over here, Keyword Planner. We're going to click Get Ideas. And now this is going to return ideas based in ad groups, and this is good. This is actually a really good way to determine kind of what Google thinks keywords are related, what kind of keywords are related and should be grouped together. I'll save that for another training, kind of like how we would silo a site. You can get some good ideas for siloing based on Google's own data right here using the ad group ideas, but strictly for keyword ideas, we want to click on that tab. And it's going to come back, and see, this is actually quite interesting because remember that we are targeting just Atlanta, and we can see car insurance has got roughly, this is an average, but 1,000 searches per month. Look at the suggested bid, $58.51. That's insane. That's really high. Look at this, auto insurance down here, $82 per click. That's crazy. That's quite a high cost per click. But we can see that some of these terms like Georgia insurance agent, it's actually really low. It's got high competition. It's showing that as AdWords. These are the competition for people bidding on these keywords. Now remember, this isn't all we're gonna do. This is just to bring back some seed keywords, okay? Some ideas, and we can see that there's some pretty good search volume here. If we want to sort by search volume, we can. Look, health insurance at 1,600. I'm sure that has a lot to do with you know, what's going on with Obamacare right now. It's probably higher now than it has been before. I don't know, that might not be the case, but dental insurance, that's really high. Look at that, that's really high. So that would be something good to target. And then car insurance quotes, $74. So we just kind of get an idea, right? These are good keywords. Then we'll scroll down a little bit, and we're also going to see some additional keywords down here, some keyword ideas. Okay, renter's insurance, that's a good one. I wouldn't have thought about that. There's 1,000 monthly searches there. Cheap car insurance, 480. That's not bad. So basically, what I would do here is I just scroll through and get an idea of some of the keywords, you know, that I might want to target, and then go ahead and download this as a CSV file. Okay, so it's going to be an Excel CSV file. I'm going to download that. And I'll just stick it in here for now. We're going to open this up, and then I'm just going to remove the columns that mean nothing to me. And what we're left with is some data about the average monthly searches. It should be sorted. It is sorted by these are the original keywords that I had put in as seed keywords right here at the top, and then this is the suggested keywords underneath. So typically what I like to do, and this is a bit manual, I understand, but I like to go through and just delete the ones that aren't relevant enough. This is a good master seed keyword list to have. Okay, so it takes a little bit of time to narrow it down, but it's a good idea to do it, because then you only got to do this one time, and then you'll have a really good list of keywords that you can use for targeting within blog posts and all, you know, content marketing and things like that. So I just would go through here and find the ones in here that, you know, don't make any sense, like insure. That's, you know, too general, so we would delete that. I would just go through this health insurance marketplace. Well, I don't know that that's relevant to an insurance agent. It might be, but in my opinion, I'm just going to delete that. You know, there's a lot of stuff in here. Allied Insurance, I'm sure that's a brand. That's not something that I would want to be targeting, so I'd pull that out of there. And I just go through this and do that, okay, and narrow it down to just the keywords that I mean, sometimes you'll end up with a list of 500 keywords, but that's great because those are all keywords that you can use. So other than that, the next thing that I would do is there's a keyword tool called ubersuggest.org. It's a Google Suggest scraper. So like if we go to Google Suggest tool right here, it's called ubersuggest.org. If we click on that, then we could put in here, let's just do insurance. If I could spell it. Okay, I'm going to leave it as English and USA, and I'm going to type in the CAPTCHA. HCH. And hit suggest. And it says 379 suggestions found, and if we come down, we can also pull some additional keywords out of here. Why I like using this is because as you start to type into Google, the suggest keywords pop up, and people click on those. So, and generally those keywords that pop up are because there's been enough searches for them that Google deems they're suggest worthy. And so a lot of times people will, instead of finishing typing out, they'll just click on a suggest. So these are good things to target, even for local terms. So, you know, you could say insurance. As a matter of fact, you could even say Atlanta and see if that returns anything. $252 suggestions. So here we go. So this is a, you know, Atlanta Insurance Agency, Atlanta Insurance Company. So these are all additional keywords that you could use. So I go through here and start scrolling down and seeing what keywords. I mean, there's a lot. There's 252 in here that I might want to add to my list that are not in the Google list, that might not be in this list. Okay, that have the actual geographic name and the targeting in it, which actually makes it really, really powerful keywords. These are great keywords to target. So these would be additional ones that I would add to my list. So for example, I would say Insurance Atlanta, Georgia. We just come through here and start clicking the plus buttons, and we'll see that it's going to start adding them to a list over here, and then we click the Get button, and this will give us where we can copy them and just paste them into our spreadsheet on another tab, and call this the Suggest tab. Okay. And so that'll give us a really good list of keywords to determine what it is that we want to start targeting for our particular client. Now, the last thing that I would do, this is also something that I just started doing recently based on an article that I had read, and it's a great idea, and that would be to take some of these keywords that we have just pulled. So for example, if we go back, let me go back to the Google Suggest briefly, and let's just take these right here. Okay, so I'm just going to take this right here, Atlanta Insurance Agency, and I'm going to copy that, and I want to go back to the Keyword Planner tool. Okay, as a matter of fact, what I'm going to do is open up a new tab so that I get a clean slate, and go back over to search for new keyword. And what I want to do first is I want to find out that keyword that I just took out of that list. I want to do a search on that and pick. Okay, we know that that's a targeted Atlanta Insurance Agency. That's a very targeted keyword, right? And these are going to bring back insurance agents for Atlanta. Okay, well, I want to take the top level guy, the guy listed in the top position. All right, and we're going to click over to his website, and we're going to grab that URL. All right, and then we're going to go back over to the Google tool, and right here where it says your landing page, we're going to paste that in, and we're going to get ideas. And this is going to bring back keyword ideas from his, based on the content on his site. Okay, so look, these are, and remember, we still have the targeting set as Atlanta. So this is going to be bringing back keywords that this guy is optimized for on this website. Okay, and he's ranked in #1 position. So don't you think that the keywords that are on his site are valuable? So once again, you could sort by average monthly searches, and you could start going through here. Before it was sorted by relevancy, so we probably should have looked at it prior to sorting it there. But these are all different keywords that we could be looking for. All right, so once again, we could refresh the page, and then we go back and grab the next guy. Let's see, we grabbed the first one. Let's look at, these are the same listing. So let's look at Yates Insurance Agency. That's a different one. Let's grab this one, jump back over here, and we'll put this in here and take a look at that. Alright, so once again, we've got life insurance Atlanta, auto insurance Atlanta, Georgia. These are all keywords just to reinforce what it is that the competition is using. Okay, so these are all really good ideas for us to also to model, to take, to use. They've done a lot of this research already. That's why they're ranked in #1, #2, #3 positions. So go ahead and borrow some of the work that they've done and grab some of the keywords that they've got here. So what I would do with these is I would come back and I would end up, see, this says 110. So there's 110 keywords that this pulled back. This is only displaying 30, so if we bring it out to 100, what I could do is actually download these as well, and then just copy them and put them in the same spreadsheet. I just put a new tab on there and then rename them as landing page keywords. And I would put them in here as well, so that now we have this directly from Keyword Planner. These, which we would have a much longer list, would also be the keywords from the Uber Suggest tool, which these are cherry keywords to use. And lastly, we would have the landing page keywords, which we know the competitors have already included on their site, okay, or have been targeting in some fashion or another. So between these three, you've pretty much got all the keyword research done that you need to do for a particular client. You can outline a content strategy, a site build strategy, using those keywords for, months and months to come. You'll have pretty much a feel for the entire market based on that keyword research, and that was just using free tools. So I hope that was informative. This is Bradley Benner with howtoseo.us, and I'll see you on the next video.